man, the Baylor fan base is driving me crazy. I'm going to have to do a rant towards them. Yeah, I'm calling out my own fan base. First of all, they really thought Hudson Card was going to Baylor. All that was clickbait. First of all, if we even offered him, he would have tweeted that out. First of all, that's just one thing. First things first. Second, they think Malik Hornsby should be the option. Have you seen his tape? He's not the best a passer. I'm not going to deny his running ability. He might be a developmental guy, but the thing is, we don't know who the two transfer quarterbacks are going to be. Quite frankly, we don't. They're going to address it, and I know there is some good quality guys in the transfer portal, like Brennan Armstrong, and some other guys as well that I should know. Grayson McCall, who got hurt last night. Spencer Sanders, who opted out of the Oklahoma State's bowl game. And of course, the Wake Forest quarterback, who has entered the transfer portal as well. And here's the thing. It's not realistic to think that we're going to land them. It's not realistic at all. Oh, Sam Hartman's the name. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's just not realistic. You gotta take in consideration some of this other stuff. Like, if somehow we land a senior at quarterback, a fifth-year guy, I'm not going to say it's going to totally affect Blake Shapen in any form, shape, or form. But he might enter the transfer portal. But I'm not going to say he's going to. Keep that in mind. I'm not going to say he's going to. Because sometimes fifth-year seniors are not any better than sophomores in some instances. It's not. And yes, it would be good to have a running quarterback, but you got to have a guy that can throw the ball too, because the defenses are going to load up in the box, and then they're forcing you to beat them through the air, and you can't do it. And that turned out to be the case in 2021. Remember, we only won in those games that we struggled passing the ball. First of all, is the defense. I mean, don't you remember the defense was one of the best we ever had in program history? We clearly missed all those senior leaders from this past year. I'm not going to lie about that. They're going to hire a defensive coordinator, so no need to worry, because here's the deal. Most of Dave Aranda's hires that he fired from in those positions, like offensive coordinator, for example, and wide receivers coach, he didn't fire him, but yeah, he did with Jorge Munoz the first year. But most of those hires have been January. I mean, for all we know, I'm not going to put his name out there just to say we're going to get him, we'll get him. But Jim Leonard, the DC, the interim coach for Wisconsin, was in a bowl game last night. They may have been talking, but the thing is, you can't hire somebody that they're fully committed to being at that program as an interim coach. Or some coaches that have, like I said, like bowl games here. And you gotta keep in mind, the transfer portal window is the following dates. December 5th to January 18th. That's the first one. The second one is May 1st to May 15th. There's still enough time to get two quarterbacks in for the spring. There is enough time. So chill out. I would also say wide receiver needs to be addressed. At least one more. Offensive line, I would prefer one more guy. Because I think if you could get a wide receiver and offensive line and at least get one quarterback in transfer portal this early period, but I would prefer two so you don't have to worry about going after a guy May 1st through May 15th on a transfer portal window. That's what I would prefer. Of course, you got to remember the defensive line could be a need as well because, look, we don't know if Gabe Hall or TJ Franklin are coming back at all. It just depends if they do. They do. That would be eliminate that need right there. I would also say the secondary needs to be addressed. Both cornerback and safety. And now I know they offered a tight end in a transfer portal too. So we just gotta trust the coaching staff and trust the process. There's a lot of time to get a quarterback in from the transfer portal before the signing first transfer portal period is going to be over. So just relax, people, seriously. And y'all are so overreacting on, hey, we lost this quarterback out. Do you know if we offered him or not? No, you don't. And I know for a fact that we haven't. They would have said something, either on message boards or those players who entered the transfer portal said, I got an offer from Baylor. We would have known something. Hudson Card, I know for a fact that we did not offer him, period. So, anyways, I apologize for this rant because y'all gotta seriously chill out and trust the process. You sissies. Yes, I said sissies because y'all are acting like a bunch of those right now. And hiring, and especially the hiring situation too, Dave Aranda is doing his due diligence and trying to find the right guy to fill in those positions. Not only at DC, but the other position as well. Because look, the last thing you want to do is fire somebody else within 1 year. You don't want to fire 2 DCs in 1 year or whatever the position coach is. You don't want to do that. You really, really don't. So, that's all I have to say about this.